Welcome to this academic presentation where we shall analyze 8 fundamental guidelines designed to significantly enhance personal existence. Although a vast majority of individuals constantly strive for accomplishments, emotional joy, self-belief, and psychological serenity, they remain passive, waiting indefinitely for ideal opportunities. However, empirical evidence suggests that empirical reality is considerably more straightforward, as meaningful transformation is driven entirely by daily behavior. Consequently, these minuscule daily deeds, when sustained over extended periods, gradually shape human physiology, cognitive processes, and self-restraint. It is crucial to recognize that an optimal existence is never established instantaneously. Rather, it is systematically constructed through wholesome practices, informed decisions, and unwavering consistency. This lecture aims to elucidate these complex concepts using accessible English to support overall human advancement.
Moving on to the first core principle, it is strictly advised never to allow more than 72 hours to elapse without engaging in physical exertion. While a substantial proportion of the population expresses a desire for heightened vitality and psychological serenity, a paradoxical trend emerges where numerous individuals avoid bodily movement entirely. Consequently, prolonged periods of being sedentary render them physically incapacitated.
This widespread physical deterioration occurs because human anatomy is naturally engineered for regular activity. When bodily movement is halted for extended durations, both physical well-being and intellectual capacity suffer substantially. This underscores why maintaining a consistent exercise regime is so vital. Individuals do not need to become elite competitors, but regular movement is essential to protect biological systems. Furthermore, physical activity extends far beyond mere aesthetic enhancement, as working out profoundly impacts virtually every dimension of human life. It systematically enhances cognitive stamina, concentration, self-governance, and psychological wellness. A robust physical frame frequently serves as the foundation for a resilient intellect, which is particularly beneficial for those suffering from non-stop anxiety and overanalysis. Biologically speaking, regular physical exertion assists in alleviating emotional strain by stimulating the intellect to discharge neurochemicals that naturally elevate mood and mitigate stress. Unfortunately, contemporary lifestyles have rendered physical inactivity exceedingly effortless. Modern citizens expend hours staring at digital monitors, navigating social media platforms, or remaining confined to their comfortable workspaces. Gradually, this lack of exertion causes the physical frame to grow increasingly fragile, which simultaneously diminishes intrinsic motivation. While slothfulness expands exponentially through continuous replication, physical movement similarly generates momentum when practiced regularly. The more active an individual becomes, the more effortless physical exertion feels, proving that habitual steadiness is critical for growth. Regrettably, a significant number of individuals only engage in physical exercise when they experience transient inspiration. However, because motivation fluctuates constantly, triumphant individuals comprehend that structured self-restraint is far more critical than fleeting emotions. They discipline themselves to move their bodies even during challenging periods, recognizing that a minimal workout is infinitely superior to total passivity. Activities such as regular walking, flexibility training, jogging, calisthenics, and household exercises are all highly beneficial. Achieving absolute perfection is entirely unnecessary. The primary objective is sustaining regular movement.
Interestingly, physical exertion actually generates additional stamina, contrasting with the misconception held by sedentary folks who believe that complete rest resolves exhaustion.
In reality, physical movement effectively awakens both bodily functions and cognitive faculties, meaning even a brief training session can thoroughly optimize concentration and mental clarity. Long-term health outcomes rely heavily upon these subtle everyday routines. Because medical complications frequently develop imperceptibly over years of neglect, wise individuals prioritize preventative health measures. Furthermore, working out constructs self-assurance progressively, as every completed training session systematically reinforces the cognitive belief that one can overcome physical limitations. This gradually alters internal self-perception over time, prompting individuals to respect themselves more. Another impactful lesson involves emotional flexibility, where physical training serves as a tool to manage daily stress. Consequently, folks who maintain an active lifestyle frequently experience greater calmness, robustness, and psychological stability. The physical frame influences intellectual performance profoundly. When the body feels heavy or unwholesome, cognitive processes are similarly disrupted. This explains why physical care is indispensable for peace, exposed by those who work out intensely for a week, then halt for months. Such erratic behavior creates unstable routines, whereas long-term physical remodeling requires steady, moderate exertion rather than sporadic forcefulness. As individuals age, maintaining physical mobility becomes increasingly critical for safeguarding stamina, agility, and equilibrium. Engaging in regular exercise is essentially an act of self-reverence, demonstrating that you value your biological existence. Embracing this specific perspective can thoroughly alter your life path. Additionally, physical training fosters psychological grit, instructing individuals on how to preserve focus even when experiencing acute physical discomfort. This intellectual fortitude is highly transferable to other professional domains, provided one avoids absolute passivity by establishing sustainable, organic daily routines. It must be noted that physical transformation demands considerable patience, meaning one should not capitulate simply because progress appears slow. Genuine developmental advancement frequently occurs silently and imperceptibly. Ultimately, your physical frame is the sole vehicle that carries you across existence. Therefore, it must be protected and respected, as health cannot be valued only after it is lost.
Turning now to the second principle, we examine the profound benefits of rising at an early hour. Establishing an early morning routine is widely recognized as one of the most effective strategies for constructing a superior existence. Numerous highly productive and self-controlled individuals guard their dawn hours meticulously, primarily because the early morning offers a serene environment devoid of external distractions. Consequently, waking up early can thoroughly optimize an individual's concentration, productivity, and emotional stability. Conversely, those who wake up late frequently experience immediate psychological stress, forcing them to rush through tasks in complete disorder. Those who master the dawn, however, secure elevated command over their schedules, proving that morning dynamics shape the entire day. Rising early grants supplementary time for essential self-improvement activities such as physical exercise, academic reading, structured learning, and meditation. In the absence of environmental clamor, cognitive processing becomes significantly more lucid. This stands in contrast to prevailing modern habits where individuals squander valuable night hours viewing digital recordings or social media.
As a direct consequence of these late-night habits, individuals wake up fatigued, uninspired, and cognitively impaired. This progressive deterioration highlights why a productive morning invariably commences the previous evening through sound rest. Rising early requires absolute self-command, compelling individuals to abandon temporary physical comfort in pursuit of long-term developmental growth. When a day commences productively, it generates positive momentum that influences subsequent decisions throughout the afternoon. This interconnectedness shows how one positive routine naturally facilitates the adoption of another, transforming lifestyles progressively. Furthermore, the tranquility of early dawn fosters emotional equilibrium, allowing individuals to slow down before the frantic world begins. From a cognitive perspective, the intellect is sharper and less susceptible to distraction during the early hours, making deep concentration effortless. Given that time is a finite resource, waking up early provides extra hours that accumulate significantly over months and years. Specifically, gaining one productive hour daily equates to an additional 365 hours annually. Maintaining a wholesome rest schedule systematically upgrades physical stamina, emotional temperament, and mental sharpness. Conversely, the perilous routine of immediately checking digital notifications upon waking exposes the mind to anxiety and cynicism early in the day. This effectively weakens concentration, which is why intelligent individuals protect their mornings from technological intrusion. Ultimately, rising at dawn reinforces a positive self-identity, signaling to the intellect that you respect your future. Real personal transformation is achieved through duplicated behavior rather than fleeting inspiration. Dismissing pretexts regarding not being a morning person is essential, as advancement commences when execution begins, rendering early mornings an ultimate opening for success. Let us now transition to the third principle, which emphasizes the necessity of allocating time for daily reading. Academic literature suggests that consistent reading is an extraordinarily powerful habit for upgrading personal existence. Successful individuals read constantly because they understand that publications alter cognitive frameworks, enhancing vocabulary, fantasy, and interaction expertise. Regrettably, a vast number of individuals cease reading altogether upon completing their formal education, preferring to spend hours navigating digital platforms. Consequently, they fail to nourish their intellects with precious concepts, causing their cognitive capacities to stagnate. The mind inevitably expands or deteriorates based on daily mental consumption. Thus, absorbing cynicism leads to feebler thinking. Conversely, excellent literature reinforces intellectual capacity by exposing readers to innovative concepts, diverse viewpoints, and historical sagacity. Reading effectively coaches the mind to sustain concentration over extended periods. As the intellect gradually becomes calmer through regular reading, an individual's overall attention span and focus are enhanced significantly. Furthermore, regular reading organically upgrades linguistic proficiency, allowing individuals to acquire sophisticated vocabulary and varied phrase structures. This attribute renders reading exceptionally influential for language scholars, as extensive reading makes advanced expression feel entirely natural. Ultimately, literature refines thinking quality, enabling individuals to make intelligent choices. A solitary, powerful concept extracted from a book can thoroughly alter the trajectory of an individual's future.
Reading demands active cognitive participation, compelling the intellect to envision and ponder complex scenarios, which reinforces creativity. Additionally, literature provides profound insights into human conduct, emotional interactions, and personal advancement.
It is vital to understand that knowledge aggregates incrementally. While many underestimate brief daily reading routines due to invisible short-term outcomes, reading 10 pages daily results in thousands of pages compiled annually. This consistent accumulation of knowledge generates massive long-term expansion, allowing wise individuals to systematically construct highly robust minds.
This leads us to the fourth principle, the continuous commitment to exert greater effort than one did on the prior day. Many individuals vocalize a desire for an upgraded existence, yet replicate identical, stagnant routines daily. They expect elevated accomplishments while declining to upgrade their exertion, forgetting that personal advancement occurs only when pushing beyond past boundaries. To clarify, this principle does not imply demolishing your well-being through extreme physical fatigue. Rather, it focuses on turning marginally superior steadily. For example, if you practiced English for 20 minutes yesterday, extending it to 30 minutes today represents meaningful progress. These tiny advancements slowly compound to construct extraordinary professional outcomes. Therefore, your genuine rival is your prior self, meaning you must continuously evaluate whether you are advancing beyond past performance. This intense exertion systematically constructs self-belief, instructing the intellect that you possess the capacity to manage difficulty. Fostering structured self-restraint ensures that you maintain momentum even during challenging days. We now arrive at the fifth principle, which advises individuals to minimize excessive thinking. A large proportion of the population destroys their psychological serenity by pondering excessively over future uncertainties and past blunders. This continuous worry renders the intellect stressed and emotionally heavy. While contemplation is necessary, overthinking creates unnecessary mental agony. The sixth principle highlights the profound importance of extending support to alternative individuals. Genuine human joy expands through empathy, mutual reinforcement, and meaningful social bonding. Extending support does not solely signify financial philanthropy. It encompasses offering reverence, motivation, and focused attentiveness, which collectively build robust relationships. Parallel to this, the seventh principle underscores the necessity of allocating quality time to your household. Given that time elapses rapidly, relationships with aging guardians and growing children must be prioritized. True affection requires active emotional presence and meaningful conversation rather than mere financial provision, transforming simple shared moments into priceless recollections. Finally, the eighth principle encourages individuals to grin far more frequently. A straightforward smile possesses immense psychological power, systematically upgrading temperament, communication skills, and emotional stamina. Choosing optimism despite hardships allows you to project warmth, proving that an upgraded existence is ultimately built through superior daily choices.